How's everybody? Let's stand up for a second. You've been sitting for a little while. Get a little stretch. Kind of say hello to some people that you may have not met yet. Okay. Come on down. We can have a seat. If you need to stand up and stretch again, it doesn't bother me. I've spoken in many places where they've done all sorts of things, so throw stuff at you. But anyhow, welcome. I would like to talk to you a little bit about sustainability in perhaps a different way. I have a very strong belief that the planet is at peril. What you're doing is one of the great contributions to changing things, but at the same time, I think we forget an important equation in all of the efforts that we're trying to do to create a difference. And that important equation is the human spirit. It is the ability for each one of us to make these programs, these buildings, these software, all of the efforts that we're creating through innovation, to make them real, because without you, without people that can actually implement these ideas, we're nothing. And so what I'd like to talk to you a little bit about today is a way that you can sustain your spirit, a way that you can in fact build a better life for you, and at the same time make a huge contribution. And in the end, I think that's what all of us are up to. In the end, our lives make a difference by what we in fact agree to contribute to others. So that's what I'd like to spend a little bit of time with you on this morning. I'm going to give you a very quick summary of a vast new field that's opening up and starting to be developed. The School of Business here at Okanagan College is one of the first to actually adopt some of these ideas. Stan and his group are doing many things in positive psychology. You're on the forefront there. But I'd like to take you into your realm, in your world for a moment. Come with me back to 1952. There was a startling finding. And that startling finding was that a group of prisoners that had been kept in war circumstances had experienced death in a very strange way. These prisoners had died not because of malnutrition, not because that they had been tortured, not because they had in fact been dealt with severely in any way, other than they had been systematically conditioned to see themselves in a negative light. They had been taken through a process by their captors so that when they woke up in the morning until the time they went to bed in the evening, they were told that they were really not very good. And after a while, this group, 30% of them, the largest number that the world had ever seen, simply walked into their tents, wrapped themselves up in their blankets, and quietly passed away. Negative conditioning, the negative response, creates a deficit in the human spirit that is significant, permanent, and real. And it's something that all of us have an opportunity to not only change but combat in our lives. After that experience, a group of psychologists and sociologists got together and started to ask themselves, well, if we see that people can in fact be taught to be really transformed into such a negative position that they in fact were willing to give away their lives, can we do something else in the other direction? Can we start to build a positive way of interacting and dealing with the world and the people that in fact reside in it? And so this began a process of what we now call positive psychology. Positive psychology is the understanding that there are things that we can do to build the human spirit so that you are willing to go out into your world and make a difference. Let me give you some of the key ideas that you can take away today and start to create a better life for you and a better life for others. The first idea I would like to introduce you to is the notion of strengths. That is, one of the things that we have discovered is that each and every one of us is a reservoir of aptitudes and opportunities and behaviors around things that we do really well. Your strengths are few but powerful. And what we're discovering is that if we have you focus on building your strengths, getting better at those, then working on your deficits, you get tremendous gain in your life. And in fact, this is so powerful that we're now seeing that institutions, organizations, universities have adopted this principle. We're doing strength-based testing so that we can help people understand what they're really great at and then start to build educational programs around those. You see, one of the interesting things in this is that there's these three big myths that about human behavior that you have to take a look at that underlies this strength-based revolution. The first big myth, I'd like you to think about this. The first big myth is that